Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. For those of you that are new to the channel, which, hey, you guys have been awesome. I really got to say that. The comments, the likes, subscribers, everything. Yeah, big shout out to y'all. You guys are super cool, and thank you. I'm very humbled by it, okay? Today's video is going to be a little bit different in the aspect of I'm going to talk about 3 different things, or at least kind of touch on them. And I apologize if my hat's a little bit distracting. I'm not normally a fedora wearing kind of a guy, right? I usually wear my ball cap or I have a cowboy hat, or something. But this was given to me. It was a special gift, and it lights up. It has 3 different modes to it. And this being 4th of July week, I just thought it was kind of appropriate. So I can actually turn this off. Which side is it on? There's a little button here somewhere. Oh, come on now. What in the world? Bear with me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. That was a little harder to push than I thought. That button's kind of, I don't know, it's sticky or something. But anywho, that's better, because I guess I really kind of thought that the lights flashing wouldn't be that distracting, but apparently it is. So with that, it being 4th of July week, little PSA from me to you. I want to see everybody back here after the 4th with all their fingers and toes, right? No missing parts as a result of poor decisions, let's call it, okay? Lord knows I've been guilty of that before. Oh, yeah. We can just do this and do our own homemade fireworks, and, I've got something cool I can do, Well, I'm not saying don't do it, but don't do what I would do. All right. I guess that's what I'm going to say. So, anywho, at the end of this video, I am going to play a fireworks display, and I'll do it for tomorrow's video as well at the end. So for those of you that are out on the road, and if you're somewhere where you can't see the fireworks, I hope that this is beneficial to you. So if you're watching this, on the 4th or something, go ahead and skip ahead, and again, thank you to all the drivers out there that are working through the 4th. You guys are awesome. I can't say that enough. I mean, I don't think that drivers are given the respect that they deserve always, right? They work through holidays, their family's birthdays, their own birthday, all these types of things. And these are all the things that we need to kind of consider, right? In the logistics industry, I think. I just watched one of our company videos, and we're talking about how important family is, and, kind of your downtime, and I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of it, but just to let you know that I want to give a big shout out to you. Okay. You guys rock. All right. Whoever you are watching this right now, you're awesome. All right. So anywho, the big thing right now is the hurricane. I am going to touch on 2 other little things that, after this, but I guess without any further ado, and again, all of my recommended, well, not all of them, but a couple of my favorite recommended tools and services in the description below. Okay. So right now, obviously it's hurricane season. Hurricane Beryl intensified to a Category 4 storm on Sunday, marking the earliest such occurrence in Atlantic hurricane history. Okay. A couple of key stats is Beryl intensified to a Cat 4 with 130 mile an hour winds as of, the time that I'm reporting this. It may be more, could be less, but it was 130 miles an hour. Earliest Cat 4 hurricane on record in the Atlantic. The NOAA predicts 17 to 25 named storms this season. Okay. So for you trucking companies, brokers, something to consider. All right. I think that it's worth pointing out that while hurricanes typically boost freight demand through FEMA activity and things like that, Beryl's projected path into Mexico's key production areas could have the opposite effect. Okay. A hit to Nuevo Laredo could slow cross-border freight for months. All right. So if you're working that area, something to consider. All right. However, if the storm shifts north to Texas, it might put a pause on the current freight recession and spark a bull run. Okay. As Hurricane Harvey did in 2017, if you guys remember. Okay. And there's 4 key points that I want you to kind of keep in mind here. FEMA load opportunities. All right. FEMA loads are often lucrative opportunities for carriers willing to navigate challenging conditions. Now, that being said, for you brokers that have ever done government freight, FEMA loads, things like that, historically, there has been some lengthy times in you getting paid. So if you're factoring or considering factoring, please talk to your factor about this, okay? Because, it could be 90 days, could be 6 months, could be a year sometimes before those bills get paid, all right? In fact, I think we talked about this back in one of my earliest videos. Increased demand for disaster relief supplies, right? Truckers may see a surge in demand for transporting essentials, like always, like water, non-perishable foods, which, your canned goods, things like that, packaged goods, and building materials, right? Lumber, shingles, concrete blocks, things like this, to the affected regions, okay? Extended disruption period, all right? With hurricane activity starting in June instead of typical August peak, freight professionals face a potential longer period of weather-related disruptions, okay? So something to kind of keep in mind there. Supply chain challenges. Early storms can catch some businesses off guard, leading to sudden supply chain disruptions and increased demands for emergency shipments, okay? So for you brokers out there, if you're thinking that if you're working, you got freight in some of these affected areas and, you're thinking, I'm going to take the week off, blah, 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 it's the 4th. Don't start hitting the toddies too early, all right? Because they might be trying to get things out ahead of time, right? We all know, if you've been in the industry long enough, staging and all of that. I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but okay. So a couple of other things. A New York trucking owner caught in a web of lies to the FMCSA. Holy cow. I swear I'm going to get through this tongue-tied thing. Tony Kurek, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, former owner of Rochester-based Dallas Logistics, has been convicted of deceiving the FMCSA. Kurek submitted false documents to hide his company's poor safety record and create a shell company under family members, right, to mask his involvement. He falsely registered his business as Dallas-based and owned by JZ, okay, or J.Z. Okay. FMCSA examiners uncovered the truth. Dallas Logistics was actually reincarnated of Kurek's previous company with negative safety ratings. Kirk faces up to 5 years in prison and a $250 fine. So if you're considering defrauding the government, the industry, very poor choice. Think again. Okay. Crime doesn't pay. Next little blip that I'm going to give you is a $5 million marijuana bust at the border. Okay. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers intercepted a semi carrying 2,323.67 pounds of marijuana, right? I say marijuana just to be a goof. At the World Trade Bridge in Laredo, Texas. The drugs had a street value of $5,198,328. The bust involved a 2009 International tractor hauling a suspicious shipment. Using canine units and high-tech inspection systems, officers discovered 98 packages of marijuana hidden in the trailer. 2 Mexican citizens were arrested in connection with the smuggling attempt. Again, crime doesn't pay. I'm not here to say for or against marijuana, but yeah, it's, I don't know. There's dispensaries pretty much all over the U.S. at this point, or at least in most states, I believe. Yeah, I don't. I'm not a smoker, so I do not partake. Be like, Tim, maybe you'd stop drinking quite so much coffee if you did. Well, let me know in your comments. Should I? I don't know. Have I ever tried it? Sure. Way back in the day when I was younger, I wasn't really overly impressed with it. But anywho, that being said, again, big shout out to all you drivers working over the 4th. Do you guys like my hat? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys like my hat. I'm going to wear it today and tomorrow. I probably will not be doing a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday video. I have a very good friend of mine who is dying of cancer coming in to see me and staying a few days. Very, very, very good friend of mine. And so I'm sorry, but I'm going to take that time to spend with them. And yeah. So anywho, I hope everybody's having a great day. And again, here's the fireworks show. It only lasts, I think, maybe like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but it's pretty super cool. I love fireworks. Okay. So with that being said, as always, be kind to one another. Bye-bye now.
Questi non sono. Questi non sono.